All right, so Walk on Water, the new Eminem single. Look, I feel like part of the conversation was us thinking it might be like a Pink feature, a Skylar Grey. It wasn't, but Skylar Grey did write the hook. Beyonce sang the hook. Yeah, but just
Skylar Grey wrote the hook.
To know, she did write the hook.
I seen a tweet by her, and when I was listening, I saw her tweet. I was like, this makes no sense. She was like, yo, this is a song I've always wanted to make, but finally I have the voices to make. I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? I was like,
yeah, so I believe she wrote the hook, and Rick Rubin played the hook, and then the song came from that. Anyway, let's listen to a snippet, and we'll talk a little bit more about it.
The blonde, sales decline, the curtains drawn, they're closing the set. I'm still poking my head from out behind, and everyone who has doubt remind. Now take your best rhyme, outdo it, now do it 1,000 times. Now let them tell you the world no longer cares or gives a fuck about your rhymes.
All right, so we'll talk about the song in general, but yo, if you're a real M fan, this is some real shit. Him talking about trying to live up to the pressure of Marshall Mathers records and stuff like that. If you lived through that era, I can imagine the pressure he feels. Who would like to start? You guys are having a stare off right now.
Well, we can't. Starting with me does what?
Let's talk about
y'all already know how I'm living it up.
Hold up. Can we start with the verses actually what he's rapping about here?
Okay.
People criticizing his flow on recent features, on recent albums.
I like how you set that up. You wanted nice things first. Okay. I think personally let me start with just me, yo. The song is trash. Joe knows it, I know, you know it. My producer over there, he knows it. My cameraman, he knows it. The song is trash.
Everybody knows it, right?
Everybody does.
Everybody.
Except the brainwash stands. But
whoa.
What I will say, what M is saying is way more powerful than the song. And that's why I thought he could have kicked the same verse because the verses were dope.
They were.
He could have kicked these verses in a BT cypher joint and it would have resonated probably the same. This shit was just on some cinematic thing. You were singing it on some I walk on. What the fuck?
So is your problem just the hook? The Beyonce contribution to the song?
My problem is that the song does nothing for me. I'll probably never listen to it again.
But you said the verses are powerful, so how can you say it did nothing for you?
Yeah, because I could separate the lyrics from how I enjoyed the song. I don't like the song. The song is like, why the fuck would I play this? Now, if I'm looking into lyricism or looking for shit with meaning, which doesn't always correlate to me listening to a song, right? Because the song quality doesn't mean that all of that shit lines up. Yeah, of course, he says a lot of shit within his lyrics, and I was like, I'm actually a little bit more excited about this album. The song, I think, this is a single just because it's Beyonce and M. If we're looking at the quality of the song, just to enjoy it, nah, man, I ain't rocking with this shit. Joe probably is. Tupac Shakur, but not me. I'm not into this one.
Tupac cares.
Tupac does care.
Don't anybody else care. You know what? There's so many different topics to tackle here with this one song.
Can we start at the song first? Because I want to get into his lyrics and some of the things he said, but let's start with the song.
This song sounds, and that's why I used to beef with you when you would say, all right, Emma's coming with a Pink single, and we didn't know. I didn't know, right? But my point was, that don't sound too far off what M normally does. This song don't sound too far, sonically, the song, not what he's saying, not Beyonce, not none of that. Just the song is exactly what I expect M to do every time, first single out the gate. Huge fucking megastar feature, very melancholy beat and content. For him, I'm sure it's about which way you're going with the content. The song wasn't surprising to me. The content was surprising to me. It's okay, it's cool.
No, song overall. Do you think it's a good song? Is it underwhelming considering the names? You could. I'm trying to give you the out here that you could describe trash in underwhelming.
I don't think it's trash.
The song is not trash.
I don't think the song is trash. I think they have real meticulous people in that studio, and they made some very difficult decisions. Like, hey, there's no drums on the song. I'm sure that was a big conversation because
you would have killed Chance for that.
I'm gonna kill him for it. I'm gonna kill him for it. I want to hear drums. On any song where Beyonce is singing like that, even her own songs, when she's climactic, None of y'all stupid say
Climaxing?
no. That's not the word I'm looking for.
I understand what you're trying to
You
say,
have
but it's a
college
weird
degree?
sentence
All right,
structure.
no, it's not if you know
All
the word.
right,
But
fuck outta
anyway,
here,
when the
Joe.
song is climaxing, for lack of a better term. No.
Theatrical,
Everybody
Charles,
in
what are you
Complex is
talking about?
stupid. No.
Can you just get to the point?
I'm trying to. If we were smart, but when the song is building that way on Beyonce records, normally always the drums come in and they start going crazy. It helps Freedom. A million Beyonce's on that. M songs too. For this song to not have any drums, the whole pardon me, pardon me, the whole time. I wouldn't have made that decision. I think they only made the decision because of the content to make sure that his point is really driven home. And his point is what was disappointing to me about the
Really?
song.
That surprises me.
So we're talking about the content of his verses.
Yes.
And what the message
That
he's
was
trying
very disappointing for me as a M fan, as someone who loves M, the rapper and the human. You know, we get it. I get it. I don't even know how to attack this. This M song, right? I've had some conversations with M that will remain in confidence, and leaving those conversations, I always said, well, shit, what the fuck is the point of rapping? If the most accomplished rapper in the world, ever probably, goes through these struggles and feels like this, then what the fuck do all of us rappers strive to get to the fucking tippity top for if this is the top? Here we are with this song now. This song says he has heard the rumblings over the years, and they've existed for some years. When Rap God came out, you know, they existed then. And some people are pointing out the hypocrisy between songs like Rap God and this, where you're saying you're not a god. But I thought the song did a great job of talking about self-doubt, no matter how great you are at your craft. The song shows that he's not immune to the little fuckity fucks that have to consume your music, purchase it, and that's why it was disappointing to me. You don't want to hear M acknowledge it in a way, well, I don't acknowledge those rumblings in a way to where, as damn, y'all are right. Y'all were correct. I would like to hear him be defiant about it still, rebellious about it still, more like I am whatever you say I am, Red Man, I'll be that. The great part about a master artist like him, Hove, you take what people are giving you and you do something with it and you give it back. So I didn't want to hear him sound so defeated. And I guess that's my point about the drums. If drums came in at the end, I probably wouldn't have felt like that. Really? And even him coming in at the end saying I made Stan and all that, I had already made my mind up 90 seconds into this song that this is a genius angle for someone who has done every fucking angle that you could possibly do for a first single. I don't think this tone is staying on the album. So I'm with you. I'm not gonna listen to this song again. The content disappointed me because I love M so much, but knowing M, this is not gonna be the temperament of this album. The very next song, I'm sure he's getting back into fuck you niggas, suck my dick, I'm that nigga still.
Okay, so you feel like you pulled the curtain back too far in revealing
Well,
insecurity.
I disagree with that a little bit. The content didn't disappoint me. It actually made me realize how in tune M was. As we've had many conversations about how M seems to be so distant from everything going on. It seems like he's hearing how he's being received, how he's being talked about, what's being talked about, and he's critiquing himself like I would imagine, and you may disagree, but I would imagine that any creator would, despite what level he's at. So it tells me...
Some really are their own worst critic. He's one of those people. I'm one of those people. Everybody's not, but some people really are their own worst critic. He says that in the song. I agree. I believe it.
And he was setting himself up to, in my eyes, to say, I'm going to prove it once again. I'm going to prove it once again. And being a rapper that this far in the game, I remember we had the conversation about what are we going to expect from Eminem at this stage in his career. I said, I want to hear some raps that are more in tune with a guy who's had a 15, 20-year career. You get me? I don't want to hear the raps from someone who's just stuck in a particular time. And clearly he's showing us his growth where, I won't even call it self-deprecating because I don't even think it was self-deprecating, but he was criticizing himself so much, even saying that He got out-rapped by was it Tech Nine, Big Sean. Clearly, he was saying, I hear what you guys are saying.
But I think he was saying when people criticize his flow, like it's too much, you're trying to pack in too many syllables, it's like all over the place. I think he's addressing that.
Yeah, but that's also acknowledging how time is changing and how people are expecting him to come. You get me? Like I think Jay is probably one of the best examples of really maneuvering through the new waves or how people are.
Please. They look down on Jay for a fucking certain segment of his fucking career too.
But you could see there was a conscious decision to maneuver.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think with M, I think everyone would assume, he's just gonna. It's just M. You either like him or you don't. He has a lot of people that like him. He's gonna come how he's gonna come. But clearly, if I'm listening to the song, he's saying, nah, okay, I'm gonna show you a little bit how that's affected me and how I may continue in the future. So I'm a little bit more excited for this album because I thought he was just gonna give us the regular M detached from what everybody's thinking or caring about type of thing, which may be good to a lot of his fans and supporters, but for me, sometimes I'm like, all right, or at least now I'm like, at this point in your career, why are you dropping it?
Well, so Rick Rubin said when he first played this, he played it for Jay as well.
I don't want to get to Rick Rubin yet. Let's not get to him just yet. I had one quick question for him that I just fucking forgot. Damn it.
It's the frog.
I'm sorry your memory's so bad.
You got to get that shit off your head, nigga. Like, you lost the other joint?
I had. I'll take my hat off. How about your turn now?
Oh, my turn?
What?
I was just, no, what happened to the other color joint you had?
Doesn't matter. Look at this great shirt he has on
I
today.
went to LA and bought a couple of hats, man.
Where you did?
Got my feet done, got my nails done.
And got a great shirt.
Hey, supporting Pinky, letting her use my fucking arms.
He did not sue me for using his arms. Amazing.
Yeah.
Finally put these shirts
that's a cartoon
online.
image, my nigga.
No, but it's actually
arms?
a photo of his
No,
hands
they're
that we
my
drew.
arms. It's my arms. You clearly ain't never been in court about shit. Shut up.
NadescaAlexis.com. Let's get back to the topic.
Oh no, I did. Here's my question to you. How many times should someone prove themselves to fans? When should you say, "Fuck you, niggas. I'm doing me. I don't care," even though y'all are the purchasing public?
Well, I think it's an ongoing struggle, right? Because for M, while you might be respected, I think how people even see music and the newer generations, that they look at M like, oh, this is a rap nigga, you know what I mean? And you hear him talking about it. If you care about being accepted by everybody, of course you got to continually do it. But of course, like, he's already attained his stature in the game. He doesn't have to. But it's among a certain crowd. There's a whole nother crowd that is really saying, why is M so great? Shit, every time I hear him on the record, he sound like this because they didn't grow up or they weren't listening to him around the time that we could probably call his heyday, if that's
I mean, time does that to every artist though, right? If you're a diehard M fan, like grew up listening to him like I did, he never needs to drop another song for me to consider him one of the greatest of all time. But to him, he still wants to keep rapping, and then he's gonna have to keep up with this climate, which makes things complicated for him.
I can see in your eyes you're relating to yourself, but no.
I would never relate.
No, not M.
Anything
not
to
M.
myself.
But your sentiment to kind of maturing as a MC or musician in the game, because shit, I seen records you put out a couple of years ago, and newer fans, they're like, yo, this nigga Joe was trash, while your fans loved it. You get me? Your fans loved it. Everybody who's grew up on your music, they're like, yo, what do you mean that you don't get it? Now for you, if you were supposed to base even partially the opinion of yourself on these newer fans who are looking at you differently, it might inspire you to do different things.
I do feel like M is like me on a much larger scale, of course. Throughout my career, that was always true. Niggas always scream, fuck Joe, but I always spoke to the people I was speaking to only. I didn't care about what anybody else had to say. So that's the truth. I think that's always been the case with M too. His cesspool is just much larger of the people that he was talking to. This is the first time I feel like he's ever talking to people outside of that large circle. But my thing is, you never win. Like, all right, this song, another observation outside of them not having drums was the attention to detail to all the criticisms. Like you hear every single word, the flow is slowed down dramatically. Like, You attack everything that they say about you, and they're still gonna find something new to say about you, which is why I was always like, fuck you niggas.
But, and this is to you, right? Clearly he's ignored it up until this point, right? And clearly he's also acknowledged that, yo, I've done every angle. What else could I do? He said on the song. You never ever cared about what outside of your core or your fan base thought? Maybe not as much. Maybe not as much, but you're like, man, if only they didn't think I was blah, blah, or if only they got it, right?
Yeah, that's a luxury, and this perspective is unique. That is a luxury that you're afforded when you don't have to sell records. Honestly, I have never been, outside of my first album, nobody ever looked at Joe like, hey, Joe's project has to keep the lights on in the building. And when you look at it that way, whoever's creating the project, yeah, you going into it, that fucks with the creative process. It adds a different type of pressure. So I've never had to do that. I could always just talk to my people. If I sell 20, 30, 40, 50,000 records, that is amazing. M is a different case. M is different. I'm anxious to see the record's number one, like we knew it would be. And that's the other thing. M, so we throw away all our numbers arguments. I'm not saying you, but the people that are like, that get their validation from shit selling. The song is number one. We all knew it would go number one. We know the album's gonna sell. We've had all those talks here, yet still, people are looking at M different because the impact is different. So I just always think it's funny, and this is not because I'm on shady, but I just always think it's funny when, if we like somebody, we'll find the argument that supports them, and when we don't like them, we'll find the argument that supports that. Not you, but people in general. His number's gonna always be strong.
It is definitely early to talk numbers, but we got to do a numbers prediction because
We did already.
Do we?
Yeah.
We did the over under.
We
did.
did.
We could do one more
The
time.
over under was 650. Right?
But if you have
Were we
specific
both over?
predictions,
I said
you
over.
both said over.
You said over. You started under, but then you went over. And I think
I want to
Pinky said
adjust it
over.
to 750. I might be under that. I'm willing to give a range.
All right,
And
so
then it's
let's
still
do-
over, nigga.
No.
Over
But I'm kind of like figuring out what I'm thinking he's gonna do. I might be wrong.
Okay, now we should close this segment with that and put some real money on it this time.